How's it going, everybody? I am Coco, and we are in the Jam Sellers Happy Hour coming at you from downtown Napa. So, cheers. And we are joined today by the beautiful Kylie Morgan. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm so good. How are you?
Wonderful. And so, where are you at right now?
So I'm actually in Laguna Beach,
Oh,
not too far from Napa. I decided last minute to just come make a trip out here. I'm such a Cali rat, and I like need to be out here all the time. And I haven't been out here since shutdown. So I was like, you know
uh,
what? While flights were like $40, I was like, I'm gonna do it.
I mean, flights are so cheap now. It's amazing. Like this is the time, sort of, to
Well,
travel
that's what's so funny is
awkwardly,
like it's
but
the time to travel, but like not the time to travel.
right, exactly. How was your flight? Was it good?
So I actually took one of my I was kind of getting a migraine, and I get migraines every now and then, and so I have these kind of magic migraine pills, but they make me really drowsy, and so I
Mm,
slept for 4 of the 5 hours on this flight, and I
yes.
woke up and I was like, I only have an hour left. This is great. I'm gonna take one of these pills every time.
That sounds great. Yeah, I mean that's
Yeah.
the way to do a flight is just passed out.
It was great, and I had the whole row to myself. I was like, wow, the flight gods are with me.
Yes, that's perfect. Well, so you're in California. I'm not sure how it is there, but up here in Northern California, it's a little bit rainy. But it's definitely kind of setting the scene for some good tunes. Do you have a song that you'd like to open the show with?
Heck yeah. Well, I hate to hear that it's rainy up there because it is all sunshine and rainbows down here. So
Oh
I'm gonna
man,
send you guys that weather right now.
thank you.
Yes. So I'm actually gonna start with a song that I very first came out with. It was right before I signed my record deal. It was before I signed really anything, and I did it independently. I wrote this song with my boyfriend Jay Allen, who's also a country artist, and as well as our friend Jeff Pardo. And it was one of those things that like I had this a line stuck in my head, and it was like with a melody of like, you're like a Rolling Stones record on repeat. And I just kept saying that over and over in my head, and then I figured we should write it, and so I told him the line, and then this is what we came up with. So this is out now, and it's called Easy to Forget. Like a one hit wonder, you were here then gone. Never thought this heartbreak would last this long. I wanna throw away the picture frames. Now I wonder where you've been. Wanna find a way to turn the page. Never think of you again. But like a Rolling Stones record on repeat, can't get you out of my head. You're like a first sip of Tennessee whiskey, still burning on my lips. Keep hearing your voice, seeing your face, reaching for the ghost line here in my bed. Wish you were more like a drunken memory, easy to forget. I was your one and only, till I wasn't anymore. Hell, I don't know what I'm hanging on for. You never knew how to be good to me, and I deserve more than that. To say goodbye, I don't know why. I still want you back. You're like a Rolling Stones record on repeat, can't get you out of my head. You're like a first sip of Tennessee whiskey, still burning on my lips. Keep hearing your voice, seeing your face, reaching for the ghost line here in my bed. Wish you were more like a drunken memory, easy to forget. Wish you were more like a drunken memory, easy to forget. You like the noise of New York City. I don't ever get no sleep. And oh, I've been trying to let go, but you still got a hold on me. 'Cause you're like a Rolling Stones record on repeat, can't get you out of my damn head. You're like a first sip of Tennessee whiskey, still burning burning on my lips. Keep hearing your voice, seeing your face, reaching for the ghost line here in my bed. Wish you were more like a drunken memory, easy to forget. Oh, oh, wish you were easy to forget. Oh no, you ain't easy to forget.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Such a beautiful voice.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I
Of
got it from my
course.
mama.
Yep, yep. Does your mom sing too?
She does. I always get her to sing "Crazy" by Patsy Cline once she's had 2 glasses of wine to me. So
Nice. Oh, that's amazing. Drinking some butter and then singing some songs.
exactly. Butter and then Patsy.
I love it. I love it. And so you grew up in Newcastle, Oklahoma. Is that right?
Yes, very small town, next to Norman, like where OU is.
Okay.
So we're about 10 minutes from there, and I actually when I was playing a lot when I was younger, like 16, 17, I actually did all the openings for all the fanfares for before all the football games. So
Awesome.
I loved OU before that, but I will say that they're my favorite team because they're the only football team that's ever paid me money. So I feel good about that.
I mean, that'll definitely earn you some points.
Yes, I definitely am a fan.
Awesome. And at 16, you also were named Who Knew to Watch by the Country Music Association. Is that right?
Yes, that's right. Yes.
Awesome. And so with that kind of notoriety, like what came out of that?
It was a pretty kind of full circle moment this past year in 2019 because I got that Who Knew to Watch when I was 16 years old, and I have been watching the CMA Awards since I can remember with my mom just in the living room, and we actually were so sad that we weren't together the other night when it aired for the virtual kind of show. But I've always been just like a huge fan of country music, and being able to just sit there and watch all my icons perform on one show was just always such a dream of mine. And so when they kind of released the whole like Who Knew to Watch It when I was 16, it was a full circle moment because now last year I actually got the CMA Who Knew to Watch, which is where they pick 3 artists out of all of Nashville that they kind of just support and believe in, the Country Music Association. And so I received that award last year and was able to walk the red carpet for the first time and present an award at the pre-show. And
Wow.
it was just a very very full circle moment of just being like, all right, you know, you never make it, but you definitely have those moments where you're like, okay, I'm doing something right. And that was one of those moments for me. It was really cool.
That's amazing. I mean, congratulations.
Thank you.
And then weren't you also just named like the top women in country, one of the top women in country too?
Yeah, it was so crazy because I mean, up until this point, so it really has been such a building block. I mean, you know how they say like Rome wasn't built in a day. A country music career is not built in a day either. I started this whole thing when I was 12 years old. I got my very first little pink guitar and told my mom that I was skipping college and I was going to move to Nashville to be a country music artist.
And you did it.
And I did. And if someone told me that it was going to take this long, I think I would have had a different attitude about it. But I'm so glad it did take this long because it truly gave me the time and the opportunity to just grow into myself as not only an artist but a human too. And so I feel like that's why I'm so happy to finally continue to release these songs as we continue to put singles out, because it's been such a long time coming. And so you know, even songs like my current single Cuss a Little, I wrote when I was 19 years old and I'm 25 now. And so the fact that these songs are still staying true to who I am and still fitting the mold of what makes me me is like really, at the end of the day, as a songwriter, I just want to create songs that are timeless. And so I hope that I can continue to do that. And it's been a whirlwind, but very, very thankful for this past year.
Nice. And I was scrolling through your Insta, and I'm glad that you mentioned that you're 25 because one of the photos that I saw was a song that you created called 25 while you were drinking some wine with a friend.
Yes.
Could you possibly play that for us?
Ooh, man, I can. Let me find it real quick. I haven't played it since I recorded it, but it's one of my favorite songs. And so backstory behind this song,
I was in a very vulnerable state of like, what am I doing with my life? Like, am I working towards something? I feel like I should be more accomplished by now. Like, should I be married? Should I be not? I don't know. And so I was in New York with one of my best friends, and it was actually the very first song that she had ever helped co-write. And so she's a journalist and had never actually written an actual song. Has always written articles and things like that. And so I just kind of spilled my guts to her, and I was like, this is how I feel. And she's like, I think you should write about it. And I was like, well, do you want to help me? And she was like, let me get some wine first. So we
Pop open that bottle.
definitely opened up the bottle, and kind of just we rewrote it in like an hour, and I put it up, and it was just a very therapeutic thing to just write. And so this is hopefully I get it right because I haven't played it since I recorded it, but this is a very personal song of mine, and it's called 25.
Pour some wine in a coffee cup so no one knows that I'm getting drunk. 'Cause it's not okay to get lit at 11 a.m. on a Thursday. Booked a flight at 4 a.m. Got to New York City 'cause I've never been. Just needed to get away. 'Cause I knew if I stayed I'd fall back into your arms. Like I don't have a broken heart. Like I don't know what I deserve. But I guess it's time to learn how to sleep in the bed alone. How to take the 6 train to Soho. How to get drunk without calling you up. I ain't close to figuring out how to live life without you now. I know what I'm worth, and I know what I deserve. Guess 25's the year to learn. Half of me thought I'd be married by now, but the other half can't fathom taking a vow. Forever feels like a long time, and that promise ring never really felt like mine. How did we end up like this? How could you do what you did? I wish you're someone I could quit. You left me no choice, so I'm learning how to sleep in the bed alone. How to spend Christmas on my own. How to get drunk without calling you up. I ain't close to figuring out how to live life without you now. I know what I'm worth, and I know what I deserve. Guess 25's the year to learn. Trying to get back to me without you, but I don't know if I really want to. Sleep in the bed alone, see our friends out on my own. I'll get drunk without us making love. No, I ain't close to figuring out how to live life without you now. I know what I'm worth. Can you be what I deserve? Guess 25's the year to learn. Guess 25's the year to learn.
Hey,
Beautiful, beautiful.
thank you. I was literally like looking up the lyrics on my phone. So
Well, you couldn't tell. You did fantastic.
thank you so much. Thank
Yeah,
you.
that was
I'm
really
so glad
beautiful.
that you love that song. It makes me happy.
Yeah, it's great. It's really great. And how long ago did you write that song?
I wrote that song about 2 months ago, so it's fairly new.
Okay.
It's one of those things too, like as an artist and as a songwriter, thank God for Instagram for me because I write so many songs and through the label and through management and through, all these entities, it takes so much to release a song. And so I really like get that that little glimpse of validation that live shows used to give me through Instagram of being able to post those videos and post those new songs. So I'm so glad you found that.
Yeah, absolutely. Me too. And speaking of, I mean, live shows and quarantining and everything, how has that impacted your life? How has that impacted your creativity, whether with music or with experimenting with other things? Like, everybody got into like baking sourdough bread or, learning a new skill. Like, how's quarantine affected your life?
Yeah, so right before quarantine, I had every 15 minutes of my life scheduled.
Hmm.
I was out on radio tour, which is where I pretty much visit every reporting radio station in America that I can.
Hmm.
And it was a 6 month tour of like I was gone like 5 days a week. And it was honestly the best. Like I was having so much fun.
Awesome.
Everyone warned me, they're like, "Oh, radio tour is tough," like blah blah blah, and I was like, guys, I've been sitting on my hands for so many years. I'm just so happy to be working, and like sharing my music and meeting people. And I'm such a people person in general. And so to be able to like be on the road full time and be able to share and promote, my music, it was so fun. And so I went from that to like absolutely nothing. And so we actually got really lucky though because we ended up quarantining with our friends in Florida who I think are actually watching right now. So
Yay.
the whole Dammerman family and all of Mary and Tom, I love you guys so much. We got so lucky meeting these incredible people that pretty much just adopted us. They call us the country kids, and
Oh.
we are now a part of their family. And we stayed there for 6 weeks, and it was just like we all just became a family and just played board games together and swam and got a tan and worked out. And considering all the circumstances, I was very, very happy with how that worked out. But also through that, I was just very kind of scared because I thought, my whole career was on a pause. And I was very grateful enough that my song Break Things actually ended up going viral and made it up to number 24 on the all viral chart on Spotify. And so,
Amazing.
it was next to like Drake and like all these like insanely talented like all genre artists, and I was like, who put me there? What the heck? How did this happen? So actually today we are celebrating 30 million streams across all
Woo!
platforms,
Yes.
so very excited about that. So cheers to
Cheers
that.
to
And
that.
screw you quarantine, we can still work.
Hmm.
Yes.
Right? Exactly. Quarantine ain't getting the best of us.
Exactly, I refuse to let it keep me down.
We have wine and we have delicious other cocktail beverages to get us through
Yes,
and good music. I mean, that's really all you need, right?
that's all you need. I mean, those are the pillars for sure.
Yes, and some good like exercise too. I'm trying to get back in my exercise grind. It's kind of hard, but
It is hard. Working out at
right?
home is hard.
It
But
is.
I actually did this series through quarantine called Namaste at Home. And
Okay.
I just did some, because I'm a yoga instructor on the side. I got my 200-hour certification before I signed my deal and all that. And so I was doing these Namaste at Home videos where I was doing like virtual yoga to my fan base. And that way we could still stay connected and, get some mind body connection happening and still embrace some movement throughout quarantine, which ended up being really fun. So now those videos are still live on YouTube, which you can find.
Perfect. And is your YouTube channel just
I think it's just
youtube.com?
youtube.com/Kylie Morgan Music. Should be that.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So if you guys want to do yoga with Kylie, hit her up.
Hell yeah. Namaste.
Namaste. And so with touring, like what is the number one thing that you miss about touring?
I just miss human connection.
Yeah.
I would give anything to do another meet and greet and just hug everybody. I just like I thrive off of like just human energy, and so especially being a songwriter and an artist, like I perform these songs and I write these songs in hopes to connect with people. I just want to provide the words that people don't know how to say or don't know how to feel, and so I
Yeah.
really didn't realize how much that identified me until this past year. And so I'm trying to fill in the blanks of what else I feel like can contribute to make me a better me. But
Yeah.
I realized that this year was definitely just like, I felt just like a huge hole was missing because I just needed that. And so we're starting to play shows again a little bit. I actually just got confirmed to play Naples, Florida, opening up for Kit Moore and Eli Young Band on, I believe, December 6th. So,
Whoa, that's
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, so I just found that out today, which is awesome because we were actually planning on being in Fort Myers anyway with our quarantine fam. So it worked out great. It's just a 45-minute drive, and we get to rock out, and I'm super excited about that.
That's amazing. And is your boyfriend part of that bill as well?
So he actually has been, he really took a chance on me this past weekend because we actually did our very first tour run together. We're separate artists, so we're usually on opposite sides of the country doing different shows because we're with different, labels, and we're different agents and things like that. And for the first time, we did our first tour run this past weekend and was able to play a couple shows together, and we had so much fun. It was a blast, and so we're definitely trying to incorporate that more.
That's awesome. So I have to ask, when you are touring and when you can tour once again, what's typically on your tour rider?
So my tour rider consists of usually healthy snacks like almonds, veggie tray, and then the very top in bold letters it says butter Chardonnay.
Oh, yes.
It is my favorite wine, and it was so crazy because before I went to Napa and performed at the winery, I've been buying Chardonnay for forever, the butter Chardonnay. And then I performed at y'all's winery, and I was like, wait, y'all make this? Guys, like, should I just write y'all a check? Like, how should
Yeah,
this
do you
work?
see all these butter behind me?
Yes. Oh, that's my absolute favorite. Now I got my mom hooked on it and
Oh, I
everyone
love
else.
it.
So, yes.
That's amazing. And so if you guys like butter too, hit us up, jamsellers.com/buy, and it can get delivered to you in like 60 minutes. Not bad.
Oh my gosh.
I know,
What a
right?
dream.
Yeah.
I wish you wouldn't have
Wine.
told me that.
When you're in a pinch, just go to our
Yes.
website.
I'm like,
Or
weird. It's
come visit
Wednesday
us.
at 2 p.m. and I'm in a pinch.
Exactly. So what will you play a song that you played while you were here at our studio?
Yeah, sure. Let's see.
Cool.
Let's do so this one was the very first time I ever heard myself on the radio.
Ooh.
So throughout this time, it was my very first release through Universal, and it's a song called Boys Girl, and it was on the horizon for the Highway, Sirius XM The Highway. And I remember that my boyfriend and I went to a happy hour and then got in the car, and Boys Girl was playing on the radio, and I just remember turning it up and just like being like, we did it, we did it.
Yes, that's great.
So yeah, so this is pretty special to me for multiple reasons, but this one is really just a song about me growing up as a tomboy and all of my faults that I now see as just, embracing of who I am. And I continue to try and illustrate that through my music. So this is a song, it's out now, and it's called Boys Girl.
When I get married, if I ever do, don't give me a diamond or something I'll lose. I'll get red wine on me by the end of the night, so I don't bother wearing white. I look better in blue jeans and dresses and lace. If you piss me off, I'll say it to your face. Windows are down or the refix my hair, 'cause I don't really care. Though I've never been drawn to someone, and I probably won't shock your mama. I'll never be Miss Tennessee, more whiskey, less pearls. No, I'm nothing like your exes, more four-wheel drive, less Lexus. So feminine, but I've always been more of a boy's girl, boy. more whiskey, less pearls. No, I'm nothing like your exes. More four-wheel drive, less Lexus. I'm feminine, but I've always been more of a boy's girl. Oh, oh, boy's girl. Oh, oh, boy's girl. Oh, oh, boy's girl. More of a boy's girl.
Thank you.
Love that. Such a fun
Thanks.
song.
Thank you so much. It was fun writing it.
And was that one of the first songs that you wrote? Is that like earlier?
So that was the very first song that I released through Universal, which after I signed my record deal, and it was actually one of the very first songs that I wrote with Shane McAnally, who is my publisher, manager, producer, my person, pretty much. And we
he's
wrote
amazing.
that. He's so good for multiple reasons, but such a good human. And we wrote that with our buddy Ross Copperman, and it was the first time Ross and I had ever written, and so it was some magic was definitely happening in the room. It was fun.
That's great. Now, so obviously you're a country music artist, and I'm sure you have a lot of amazing influences in country music and artists that you look up to and that you listen to and that you love. Is there any artist on your playlist that maybe would be surprising to other people that you actually listen to?
Oh, girl. Let me tell you. So, as a songwriter, as an artist, your dream is to like come out with a song that as soon as people hear it, they're just like, oh yeah, this is my song. Like literally, I'm like, oh my god, what's my song? Like that's what you want. And so this song, as soon as it came out, it blew up like crazy. As far as like, as soon as people heard about it, because it had been out for a while, and then as soon as it got on people's radar, it was just one of those songs that was undeniable. And so now I cover it in my sets. It's one of my favorite songs to cover.
Okay.
And I have so much respect for this woman. So this is "Truth Hurts" by Lizzo.
Oh yeah.
Be great. Woo! I just took a DNA test. Turns out I'm 100% that. Even when I'm kind crazy, yeah, I got boy problems. That's a human in me. Bling bling, then I solve them. That's a goddess in me. You could have had a bad bitch, non-committal. Help you with your career, just a little. You can hold me down, but you're not holding me back, and that's a sound of me not calling you back. Why men great till they gotta be great? Text me, tell it straight to my face. Best friends set me down in a salon chair. Shampoo press, get you out of my hair. Fresh photos with the bomb light. New man on the Minnesota Vikings. Truth hurts me to something more exciting. Bam, bam, be down, ba down, bam, be. It breaks my heart that you broke my heart. But you thought you ever had it, no, it ain't from the start. Hey, I'm glad you're back with me, bitch. I mean, who would want to hide this? I will never, ever, ever, ever be your side chick. I put the singing single and worry about a ring on my finger. So tell your friends, shoot the shot when I see you. It's okay, he already in my DMs. Why men great till they gotta be great? Don't text me, tell it straight to my face. Best friends set me down in the salon chair. Shampoo press, get you out of my hair. Fresh photos with the bomb light. New man on the Minnesota Vikings. Truth hurts me to something more exciting. Bam, bam, be down, ba dam, bam, be. I'ma hit you back and I'm in there. I don't play tag, cause I've been there. We don't mess with lies, we don't do goodbyes. We just keep it moving like aye, aye, aye. I'ma hit you back and I'm in there. Play tag, cause I've been there. We don't mess with lies, we don't do goodbyes. We just keep it moving like aye, aye, aye. Wild and great till they gotta be great. Don't text me, tell it straight to my face. Best friends set me down in a salon chair. Shampoo press, get you out of my hair. Fresh photos with the wrong light. New man on the Minnesota Vikings. Truth hurts me to something more exciting. Bam, bam, be down, ba dam, bam, be.
That was amazing.
That one always gets the girls dancing.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. Now, what inspired you to do that song?
So it really like I remember being in a bar during radio tour, and of course that's like where I get all my great ideas is in a bar. I feel like,
Of course.
and that song came on, and just the whole energy of the whole place just shifted, and I was like, man, if it can do this just by being on the jukebox, like. I can't imagine what it would do live. And so it's one of those songs too, whether you're a country fan, a pop fan, R&B fan, like I feel like everyone can bond over that song. And so like that's all we want to do is just get people, feeling like they're together and reunited. And so I feel like that's a song to do it for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, drinking some good wine, listening to some good tunes, and like having fun with your friends. I mean, that's what it's all about.
Exactly. I mean, amen. What else could you need out of life?
Yeah, right. Now, hopefully we'll get some live music soon. I mean, well, you're already booking in December, so that's amazing.
Oh, I'm
Um,
like, let's go. I'm like, hey, you want to
yeah,
live show? Contact my management. Let's figure it out. I'm ready to
seriously.
play again.
Yeah, well, I mean, once we can, we'll have you back here at the Wine and Music Studio because that
Oh,
would be
I would love
amazing.
that. Man, that was so fun when it was literally like Nashville just goes to Napa and
Hmm.
like all of my friends that are like artists, like we just had a blast drinking wine and hanging out and like living our best lives. So I can't wait to get back to that.
Nice. So you were here for Live in the Vineyard, is that right?
Yes. Yes.
Awesome. And what was that experience like for you?
It was literally so fast. It was like I had a show booked right the day before, so I flew in and was in Napa for like the first time ever for like 36 hours. And I lived it up every single moment. I was drinking wine even on the way to the airport in the Uber. So
Yes.
I was definitely making most of every moment.
Awesome. Now, so when tours are getting booked again and things are back to normal, who's like your dream? What's your dream bill? Like your dream like concert
Oh,
bill?
I have so many dream artists as far as just like I think the most to me is seeing these artists that have built a career over such a certain amount of time and had continued to just stay relevant and amazing. My dream tour would be someone like Taylor Swift, of course. That's the dream tour. But even going back to just like people that are just like incredible and have been like what's the word? Timeless. Just like these timeless people that have continued to just illustrate just like nothing but good music, and their fans follow them no matter what they do. People like Dirk Bentley and Tim McGraw, and these people that just like deserve the ultimate fan base because they do what they do. So those are definitely kind of my dream tours for sure.
Awesome. Yeah, that's a good list for sure. And so you mentioned off camera before that you have a cute little puppy and her name is Hazel, is that right?
Hazel Gray, because every
Oh,
dog I have has to have a middle name because they're a human.
yes.
Yes, she is literally the definition of me. If you look at a photo of us, I mean, if I were a dog, it would be Hazel, and if Hazel were a human, it would be me.
Nice. And when you go on tour, do you take your pups with you?
So she is my emotional support animal. So
Great.
she is allowed to come. I'm gonna wait until I get a bus, so that way I can for sure bring her along.
Nice, nice. I love that. And so right now you're in Laguna Beach, but normally you live in Nashville.
Yes.
What is Nashville like right now? Is it still kind of bustling? Or people kind of pivoting with hosting music outside?
So we just now, like I think as of like 3 weeks ago, they started doing live music again, which like praise Jesus, because like what is Nashville without live music?
Seriously.
So thankfully we were able to start that again, and it's been just so nice to just hear our friends. I started working with this duo called Tiger Lily, and I just saw them at Whiskey Row the other night, and it was so fun to just see my friends play again. So it's been awesome.
Awesome. That's awesome.
I also
Well,
want to
I'd
give
love.
a round of applause for my friend Natalie, who is now giving me the charger to the laptop,
Woo!
because I just texted her. I was like, "Hi, your laptop's dying. Can I please have a
Oh no.
charger?"
Well, thank you, Natalie.
So Natalie for the win.
Yay, Natalie. Well, I'd love to hear another song if you have another one for us.
Oh my gosh, you got it. So this song is not released yet, and I rarely play it, but I have to play it every time I'm in California. So since I'm
Oh,
here,
yes.
it's this song. It's called "Hit California," and I wrote it with my buddy Nate Kenyon and my other buddy Blake Bollinger, and it was like one of those songs that you just like you felt the magic in the room that day. And Nate came in with this idea, and he had no idea my love for California. I swear that my boyfriend Jay always thinks that I'm having an affair on him with California because I love it so much. And he's like, just as long as you take me with you if you ever move.
Yes.
And so I wrote this song pretty much as like kind of like treating California as if it were a relationship. So comparing it to that, you'll get the innuendos, but it's called Hit California.
Bob Dylan in a blue Camaro, 2 suitcases in a case of young and loves. Route 80 at the San Diego, Cuervo sipping to the southeast, eating that dust. Kids like us, what about to sit around a small town longer than we had to? My college didn't start till fall, and you hated your job. So we hit California, gave that summer hell. Spent every penny we made on cheap champagne and beach motels. We hit California, got that Gold Coast breath. I will never forget, no, I will never regret when my heart went west and hit California. Midnight on a Monday morning, I knew the moment when I saw it in your eyes. I could tell by the way you're talking, last thing you had was Georgia on your mind. You asked me to stay, I know that I couldn't. Sometimes I wish that I would've. When the missing you hits me this hard, it's like I'm right back in your car. When we hit California, gave that summer hell. Spent every penny we made on cheap champagne and beach motels. We hit California, got that Gold Coast breath. I will never forget, no, I will never regret when my heart went west and hit California. I would have stayed too. I don't blame you. California, California. Yeah, we hit California, gave that summer hell. But every penny we made on cheap champagne did it so damn well. We hit California, got that Gold Coast breath. I will never forget, no, I will never regret when my heart went west and hit California. California. Bob Dylan in a blue Camaro, 2 suitcases in a case of young and loves.
Amazing. Amazing.
Thank
I
you.
love that. And with that, and a line just inspired me to share that we do have some amazing sparkling, which is our toast. Have you ever tried our toast?
No, why have I not?
Oh my God, you have to. It's our sparkling. It's delicious.
Oh my
I actually
gosh,
was
yum.
drinking it, and now it's empty. But
That's an issue.
it's an issue. But so you got to come back. You got to come back, and you got to try some toast with us.
Man,
and
I'm
we'll
telling you,
toast
any
together.
chance to come back to California, you just tell me when and I'll be there.
Now, do you remember the first time that you actually visited California? How old were you,
did.
and what was that like?
I did. So I was 14, and it was the beginning of my whole career, honestly. I came out here because I was about to sign my very first indie deal at 14. And
Wow.
I came out here to meet a guy named Jack Joseph Puig. And Jack had produced like the Black Eyed Peas and like all these mega bands like No Doubt and just like completely was just like an icon as far as producers go. And a guy from Oklahoma who believed in me was like, "Hey, I just want to bring this girl out to you and see what you think." So first time I ever came to Cali, I came out here to perform for him. I played an out of tune guitar because I didn't know how to tune a guitar and it was out of tune. And I somehow still sang in key, a song that I wrote. And so after I played, I was just like, oh my God, I blew it. I blew it. He hates me. I'm awful. This is the worst thing ever. And he was like, you know how I know you're going to be a star? I was like, what? He goes, you played the out of tune guitar and you acted like it was a stadium and you didn't care if it was out of tune and no one would know.
I love it.
So from then on out, like I after I left there, we lived it up in California and we went to, did all the tourist things, went to Venice and saw the Hollywood sign and I just had such a special connection with this place, and so every time I come back, it's definitely my second home.
That's amazing. Such a cool story. And so now, I mean, you're working on your debut album and you're working on it with Shane McAnally, right?
Yes.
Awesome. So I just found, I'm not just found out, but like I found out about Shane by watching the show Songland. Have you seen that show?
It is so did you watch the pilot by chance?
I think
with Charlie Puth?
Yes, I did.
So my best friend Sam DeRosa was a contestant on that episode, and she's the one that I always usually stay with when I'm in LA. So
cool.
She's like, she calls me her Nashville roommate. I call her my LA roommate, and so every time I'm in LA, I stay with her. Every time she's in Nashville, she stays with me. And so we connected through Shane, and we just like bonded so hard. And so she met him through Songland, and he immediately called me, and he's like, "You got to meet this girl. Y'all are so similar. You're gonna love her."
Awesome.
So
how cool. And so
Yes.
what's it been like creating this record with Shane? Like just this amazing producer.
It's one of those things that like you're so close to your music as far as like an artist, especially as a songwriter. As an artist, if you cut outside songs, you're really close to it and you have to feel really personal with it. But if you're a writer on everything, it's like amplified times 20 because all these songs are your babies. And so it's very scary to walk into a room and be like, "Hi, this is my child that I love very much and I hope you love it just as much as I do." And it's one of those things that like like through his like track record and all the things that he's done and all the success that he's made. I mean, if you look at the track record, I mean, like the last two people he got their record deals was Sam Hunt and Casey Musgraves, and then he got me my record deal. And so
Amazing.
I mean, like you can't help but just be like, "You're right, you're right, you're right." Like, oh my, whatever you want. And what's so cool about Shane is he's not like that. He is very like, "What do you want?" And then let's make sure that it's exactly what you imagine, how you pictured it, with making sure that it's like everything that he wants it to be as well. And so that's why I originally signed to Smack, is because they told me from the beginning, they're like, "We're not going to tell you what to write. We're not going to tell you what to record. We're not going to tell you, X, Y, and Z. We just want you to be the best version of you." And so that's what I've continued to do this past like 3-4 years of being with them. And it's been just a whirlwind, and it's been so fun to just like create this whole like I'm song family now of like all my song babies coming together. So it's been really fun.
That's awesome. And that's so cool to hear because like, with the music industry, it's so interesting with, how sometimes they try to like mold the artist into being what it is they want to be. But it's so cool to hear that like you have a whole core group of people around you that's just like highlighting you, who you are and what your music is all about.
And that was what's so scary for me, is even like signing to Universal. Like I've heard so many horror stories of, like people signing record deals back in the day and then being like, "All right, this is what you're going to wear. This is what you're going to look like. This is what you're going to record. This is who you're going to be." And I just knew that I couldn't do that because I was so close to myself and who I was and who I became. And so that was my biggest thing, is like, I want to make sure that, whoever I sign with, they're signing me for me, not for who they want me to be. And I've been very lucky to have been receiving that consistently and feeling like it's my musical family rather than just people I work with.
Yeah, that's so nice. And did you work with Shane on your song Break Things?
So he actually wasn't a writer on Break Things.
Okay.
Long story short, on Break Things, I had a show that day. I was performing at Health and Wellness Festival, and I called my publisher and I'm like, "Hey, I have this festival today. I really don't think I can come in today and write because it's like 2 hour drive." He goes, "Kylie, we're doing a camp with Tree Vibes, which is FGL's publishing company, and they're like, they really need an artist in this room. Can you just come in for a couple hours?" And I was like, okay. So I came in, and I had been shopping the day before, and I saw, aka bring in jam sellers here, I saw a wine glass with the words "I break things" on it, and I was like, oh my god, I need to buy that. And then my second thought was, no, I need to write that. So I came in the next day, and I only had a couple hours. I said, hey guys, I literally have to leave at 2 p.m. Can we write this song? I've been wanting to write it. It's called Break Things. Here's the idea. Here's what I'm thinking. We wrote and recorded the song in an hour and a half.
Whoa, that's amazing.
It spilled out, and it was just made to be written. And I was early for my event, so it was like I was like, well, that worked out, and I'm so glad I went to work that day. So yes, that is my biggest piece of advice to songwriters: is like, when you want to cancel, don't, because it could be the song that changes your life. So
Absolutely. And I mean, some of the best songs were written that way, like in under an hour. It just spills out of you. Just has to be said.
I truly think so that way too. Is like, if it becomes a 3-4 hour thing, I'm like, this is harder than it has to be. Let's come back to it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And now you created your first like official like high production music video was for your song Break Things. Is that right?
Yes. So I just remember getting my hair and makeup done. I had my stylist there, and she was showing me, like what she was thinking I should wear, and like I had all these people, and there was like a camera in the dressing room, seeing all these people, in masks, like going all the way around and like setting up like all these pieces. And I just remember sitting there. I'm like, I cannot believe that all these people are here for me. Like, it was just like such a surreal moment, because it's like you see these music videos on CMT, and see them like become this story of like these artists that they've been illustrating for years. And so the first video that I ever did, it was just like it was Break Things, as far as just like with a full team and a full entourage, as far as just like the main production of it. And it was just a day that I'll never forget, because every smile in that video is so genuine. Because not only was it my first video, was when I was so excited to film it, but like it was right after we were on lockdown for 3 months, and so I was just so happy to be working, and like so happy to be like just moving forward. And so it was honestly one of the funnest days I've ever had.
I mean, it's a really fun music video. I love it. Like, you're smashing a guitar, you're like just doing all the fun things, and it's like it makes me want to go to one of those like break rooms and just like throw stuff.
Yes. No, I mean, it felt like magic when we were doing it. And then after it came out, I was just like, I couldn't believe the like reaction it was getting. And it was my first full People article that they came out with for People magazine. They covered the music video, and I was just like, what is life like? I can't believe that this is happening, And so it's been very surreal ever since then. But I just hope and pray that I can continue to release music that people love, and hopefully it connects the way that I hope it does, and people are loving it as much as they are. So I'm very thankful.
Yeah, absolutely. And so does your self-titled or debut album, does it have a name yet?
We don't have a name yet, but it's been in the works for a really long time. And I will say that there will be some sort of song family created album of all my little song babies coming out, whether it's an EP or an album next year. So very, very soon happening. Yes.
That's exciting. And so your song Cuss a Little, by the way, I love the whole like premise of the song, love the name. I do like to cuss, but I keep it on the DL when I need to.
We have to, for certain reasons.
Exactly. And how did that song kind of come about? What's the backstory behind that song? So
what was crazy on that song is I wrote it when I was 19, and I wrote it with my very good friend Walker Hayes, who I've been writing with since I was 15. He's been a huge part of my story for multiple reasons, but he pretty much adopted me as like a little songwriter sister. And so we've been writing together ever since. And when we wrote that song, I remember him saying the bridge of the song, which is my heart is kind of dirty, but his blood is clean. And what you get ain't what it seems. And so when he said that, I was just I was so just like, I remember that moment. I almost started crying because I was just like, yes, like that's what it's all about. Like, is truly just like being an example of imperfection and knowing that he loves us anyway. And so, what even was crazier to me is the fact that I wrote it when I was 19. It came out at 25. So, 6 years ago, I wrote that song, and it
Wow.
still continued to stay true to who I am. And I did a live with Walker when the song came out, and he goes, Kylie, I don't know if you know this, but when we wrote the song, I wasn't a believer. I didn't believe in Jesus. I just was very self-absorbed and like very involved in my own stuff, and I just was, in a dark place. And then when we released the song and I sent him the master so he could put his vocal on it, he goes, I just sat in my car and cried when that line came, because it became a whole completely different meaning to me. And so that's what it's all about for me, is just creating songs that people can literally just be like, that's exactly how I feel. And I can't believe I didn't see it till now. And so for even a writer to say that, that was on the song, was pretty amazing. So I'm very, very excited that this song is finally out. And we have been just so thankful that everyone has continued to stream it and love it. It's my very first song that ever got New Music Friday on Spotify.
Woo!
And so I was like
Wow.
crying in some East Nashville bar of like just dive bar. I'm just like, when it came out at midnight, and I've been so thankful. So this song is out everywhere, and please buy it, stream it, continue to love it. I can't do this without y'all. So this is a song called Cuss a
Cool.
Little.
And can we hear Break Things right after that too? Can we
You
do a
got it.
twofer?
You got
Thanks.
it.
I don't hang with hypocrites, but I'm quick to call that kettle black. Swear I'll say it to your face when I'm talking behind your back. My thoughts are kinda dirty, my clothes are clean. What you see is what you get, but what you get ain't what it seems. 'Cause I'm just human, buried in denial. I judge people and I read the Bible, and I drink too much, my body is a temple. I love Jesus, but I cuss just a little, oh, just a little. Well, I don't care what people think, 'cause that makes people think I'm cool. And I will never tell a lie other than the one I just told. My music's kinda dirty, my record's clean. So what you see is what you get, but what you get ain't what it seems. 'Cause I'm just human, buried in the Bible. I judge people and I read the Bible. I drink too much, my body is a temple. I love Jesus, but I cuss just a little, oh, just a little. My heart is kinda dirty, but his blood is clean. So what you see is what you get, but what you get ain't what it seems. 'Cause I'm just a human, buried in the night. I judge people and I read the Bible, and I've got tattoos, but my body is a temple. I love Jesus, but I cuss. Hell, we all cuss just a little, oh, just a little, oh, I cuss just a little, just a little.
Thank you guys again so much for loving that song. I've been waiting for that song to come out for so long. So it makes me so happy that it's finally living and breathing out into the world. So thank you guys so much. This is going to be my last song for the night. Jam Sellers, thank you guys so much for having me. It's always so nice to be just included in things like this, because even during this time, we all need country music and we all need music in general. Eric Church, which is a artist on my label, which I'm very happy to say just won Entertainer of the Year and said something that I will never forget. And I'm going to go ahead and repeat it, even though it has probably nothing to do with any circumstances. But I love that he said, politicians in the world may pull us apart, but music will always unite us. So very happy to be a part of that. So this is my last song for the night, and it's called Break Things. Thank you guys so much.
It's a 65-mile-an-hour drive. I'll be doing 90. It says don't look, don't touch. You know that's where you'll find me. Don't hand me the keys to your pickup truck. 'Cause I drive like I drink and I only drink from plastic cups. So don't stand too close, don't go, don't fall too hard. I ain't a promise in the dark. 'Cause I break things you think you do, but you don't. That's it, that take it too far. So don't hand me your heart, 'cause I break things. Oh, 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 oh. Well, I'm the type that'll break the ice if you're standing in the corner. I'm a wrecking ball, red lipstick on, so I just thought I'd warn you. If it says be quiet, then I can't shut up. I break things I love like I love, and I won't let up. No, I won't let it up. So don't stand too close, don't fall too hard. I ain't a promise in the dark. 'Cause I break things you think you do, but you don't. That's it, that take it too far. So don't hand me your heart, 'cause I break things. Oh, 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 oh. Lucky for you, some things are better broken. And I kinda like you, and I like where this is going. But don't stand too close, don't fall too hard. I hate to hurt you, baby, but I break things. I break things. Oh, 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 oh.
Thank you guys so much.
That was amazing, amazing. And please, if you enjoyed the show today, give Kylie a tip through Venmo, Kylie Morgan Music.
Drinking
That's where you
money.
can find her. Yes, exactly. And and show her some love. Like her on Facebook, Instagram, all the good stuff. Follow her on Spotify. And we really loved and appreciated having you guys on, or having you on today. You were amazing, and thank you for loving butter. We appreciate that
Oh,
too.
of course. Thank you.
Oh,
I know
the
it
lights.
got dark.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for having me. Y'all are awesome.
Thank you. And if you want some butter as well, don't forget to hit up our store or visit us at the Jam Wine and Music Studio here in downtown Napa. So
Awesome.
cheers,
Thanks, Coco.
everybody.
You rock.
Thanks, you do
Cheers.
too. Cheers.